Greetings from the sea, friends. So beautiful. I headed out again today to Dallas Road Beach, as it's called. The ocean that connects this land, this Canadian land, with the American land over there. Yep. Oceans are connective and Pacific. Peaceful. We need peaceful oceans and peaceful energy fields more than ever these days. And peace has been a big theme here also with the Peace March, International Day of Peace last week, the Jewish Rosh Hashanah, and the Islamic, so the Jewish New Year and the Islamic New Year, both happen on the same day. And it was the day after the International Day of Peace. There's been a lot of belligerent words have been thrown back and forth, and so important to remain stable, balanced, peaceful, and empowered in all of this. So how are we going to do this? What would the planet suggest? First of all, to acknowledge that there's like quite a tension happening these days between Uranus, our friend Uranus, the destabilizer, the wake up, shake up energy energizer, that can be really actually quite unsettling. Late Aries on the settling point, but very unsettling, and yeah, in other words, you never know what comes next, and it brings us, on the other hand, also radically into the moment. And Uranus is now forward again since early August, and it steps, so actually Jupiter steps and moves into opposition with Uranus again, which happened for the first time end of last year, and then the spring, and now the last time also this week. So that's tomorrow. Jupiter-Uranus opposition number 3. Jupiter in Libra, just like here. So important. Would be so important to be peaceful, to make wise choices, to be in balance, and stay calm in the storm, in the Uranian wild, unpredictable, unsettling energy. And maybe you too, as me and lots of people, are presently dealing with important choices to make. Looks like decisions, looks like I have to decide, but that too I would consider the male part, the masculine side of this Libra energy in terms of decisions. The feminine yin energy being choices. There are choices presented to me, and what do I choose? What is a choice that's for the highest good? And maybe what could tip the scales? We might or might not want to wait until October 10th when Jupiter goes into Scorpio. In the meantime, this Uranus effect, it could also be suddenly something comes up that shows you everything from in a whole different light, and that can help with a choice as well. And then also, of course, this week on the 28th actually, Pluto, which is in 2 days, Pluto goes officially now direct in Capricorn, goes forward from Earth perspective. Has been retrograde since April and now goes forward again. So there's been a lot of inner processes around old, with Capricorn, old ways of operating, basically old operating systems that have become obsolete, and that we are outliving and purging now, while they are coming up and want to assert themselves, of course, right? And they could have to do with fear and with a need to maybe the responsibility can be either not stepped into, that is, says, well, it would be your job, what are you doing about it? Why aren't you the change you wish to see? Why don't you even just step by step do something about this issue? Or that you take too much on. Maybe you are a person who feels super responsible, very guilty, easily guilty, and then often resentful when taking things on that are actually not your business. So all of that stuff can be really heavy and weighing on you, weighing on lots of us these days. Pluto in Capricorn, where is all this going? Where are the resources? How do we treat resources collectively, personally? How do we use the time that is given respectfully and well? So that Capricorn effect is pretty pressing and quite intense these days. So are we using resources and time in a destructive way, or in a constructive way, in a loving way, in a way that where we abuse ourselves, or we abuse something or somebody? Really good to look into that. Pluto takes us into the shadow. And so Pluto is almost between Uranus and Jupiter, almost a T-square. It's called a cardinal T-square of Aries and Libra and Capricorn. So that's where very crucial, cardinal, important things are on the line, basically. And what is the power point? What is the release point? It's actually, again, Pluto. And Pluto is in mid-Capricorn. I looked up the Sapien symbol, and I will post that. Also, we'll do a little article about this week with Pluto and with Uranus, Jupiter. And the Sapien symbol, guess what it says? It has to do with the wisdom of the body. I will post the whole thing, like really listening to the wisdom of the body, ground yourself, ground out the whole situation. That's what I'm doing here, and I wish you well in this process, and see you next time.